Hello and welcome to this latest edition of Courses on Demand brought to you by Forex.Academy. So in this course, we'll be discussing the basics around the MetaTrader 4 platform. So I'm sure it's something you'll really benefit from when using your MetaTrader 4 platform. So there is, of course, just before we begin, there's inherent risks when trading these financial markets. So please do take a brief moment to just familiarize yourself with our disclaimer before we begin. Okay, so let's give you a brief outline in terms of what we'll cover in this MT4 Basics webinar. So we'll start off by looking at how to log into the platform and also making sure that you have the correct connection so that your platform is generating or receiving the data feed correctly. Then we'll do a very brief review of the platform, show you where everything is. Then we'll have a look at how to optimize your charts, so to make them look in a fashion that you are comfortable with. We'll then have a look at how to add technical tools to your charts. We'll have a look at what's called Market Watch and how to add and subtract symbols and different markets. We'll have a look at data window, and we shall finish with looking at how to take a trade and also looking at your trade terminal. Okay, so that's just a brief outline. So let's get straight in and let's take you over to the charts. So for this, we'll get up our trading platform, like you can see up on screen. And the first thing to do is when you download your MetaTrader 4 platform, it's best to download the desktop version, and you can perhaps pin it to your toolbar on whatever PC or laptop you happen to be using. Now, it is preferable to use a PC or a laptop. However, we do appreciate many people do trade the markets with a whole range of different devices, including mobile. But if you want to access the app in a way in which you can access the same data time and time again, and perhaps take time out of your day to actually trade these markets, then there's no better version than your MetaTrader 4 platform app on a PC and laptop. It's just the preferred option. Okay, so when you first see your trading platform, when you first log into it, you may need to actually log into your actual trade account. So for that, you can go up to the File tab, click on Login to open account. And what it will do is it will bring up this particular box, currently up on screen. And you'll be able to put in your login number, your password, and of course, select whichever whether it's whatever server you happen to have been allocated for this trading account. You'll have the opportunity to select that. So you do need three pieces of information. You need your login number, you need your password, and you need the server that you have been allocated for that account. So and then it's just a simple process. You can save that account information and log in. Now, once you do that, every time you log in and out of MetaTrader 4, your account will become live. So again, it's very intuitive, very, very easy and straightforward to use. Now, one little test just to make sure whether you have logged in correctly is the need on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, just down here in this bottom right-hand corner. And if you hover over the connection status, you want to make sure that there is a data feed coming through. So you want to be able to see there's 10 bars down here. And as you can see, half of them are green. So you want to see the green colored bars, and to the right of it, you can see the data actually ticking through. And if you click on that, there is another way to actually log into this platform as well. You can do it through the connection status as well, if you prefer. So if you right click on that, it'll also pop up with your actual login details. But please do make sure that you do have a signal, your platform is receiving the data feed as required. So that's occasionally a bit of a stumbling block for traders. So do make sure you log in correctly to your platform. Okay, so let's have a brief review then of the platform, and we'll start here on the left-hand side. So for this, I'm just going to get up our pen. So just at the toolbar right at the top, what you'll be able to see is you've got your regular file, view, insert, charts, tools, window, and help. Now, there is a quick version and a quicker format. A lot of these symbols, which you'll find just below those levels, operate the same kind of function. Now, you don't need to really have access to all of these tabs. However, we have some tools that we can utilize here at the top. If you happen to be looking at the charts, whatever color that background happens to be, we'll optimize the actual platform very, very shortly. But just above the chart, what you will see is a series of codes, M1, M5, M15, M30, H1, H4, D1, W1, and MN. And if you hover over them, it'll actually tell you what they are. And that's just changing the format of the charts to a particular time frame. So depending on what type of approach you adopt, whether it's short term or whether it's slightly longer term, you have the flexibility here with MetaTrader 4 to effectively trade various different time frames. And there is pros and cons associated with trading each time frame. But if you wanted to have a look at daily time frames, for example, you click the D1 and it goes right the way down to 1 minute price charts. In addition to that, we have a whole series of tools, and if you hover over them, you can actually draw some text on here as well if you wanted to. If we wanted to identify a level on this market where we would like to buy from, to delete that, you can just highlight it and press the delete button. So you can put in text, you can put in Fibonacci retracement. Let's say we wanted to just monitor swing high to swing low and wanted to see how this price action behaved around those levels. And you can see we've got a really strong bounce off the 38 level, 38% retracement level here in the euro dollar. There's other tools that can be used. We can draw trend lines in any which way we deem fit. And we also have horizontal lines as well. So if we want to identify these highs, we can utilize all these tools accordingly. Another useful tool is the crosshair. So if we wanted to see the extent of the pullback from the low to the high, we get some information there on the right hand side, and straight away we can see that there's 348 pips, that middle number there, currently up on screen. Now it is presented to the 4th decimal place, but actually we look at the first 3 numbers. So we're talking about 348 pips is the difference between the low and the high. So it's just quite useful to just get a bit of a quick snapshot. So there's a whole range of different tools. Above this order, if we wanted to place a new order, we'll come on to this very, very shortly, but you'll click the new order tab. You can go about placing a trade there shortly. And what's quite important for us certainly is that we trade candlestick charts. So make sure this middle tab out of these 3 is actually active. And just the last few sort of quite useful little tips is the zoom in and zoom out function. So if you want to zoom in and go to the beginning or to the most recent price action, you can utilize the shift end of the chart from the right border. You can use these tools accordingly. So the good thing about MetaTrader 4, if you hover over it, it does give you a good indication in terms of what you would be looking for. But we definitely have this zoom in and zoom out function, and you get to see much bigger time frames over whatever time period you're looking for. And if we wanted to go sort of to more recent price action, we can click these buttons. If we take them off and we drag and we decide to go backwards, you can use your mouse on the chart, you can see that you can go back for as much data as you can access, and you can spend time around these areas to see what's happened, what has previously happened at these current levels. And instead of zooming all the way back, you can just click one button and it takes you straight back to the price action that we were looking at. So very, very intuitive to use, very easy, very straightforward. Currently up on screen, you're very likely to have, when you first log in, your market watch. We'll come on to this very, very shortly. And what you may see in front of you is either one big chart like this currently up on screen, which is the euro dollar, or you might see 4 or even 6 smaller charts. And if you can see one chart in front of you when you're reviewing this video, then that's absolutely fine. Now, if you're seeing multiple charts, then just go ahead and scale up. So if you're seeing something like this currently up on screen, even though these are not exactly scaled correctly just right now, but let's say you're looking at 4 different price charts when you first log in, just maximize one of the charts. So whichever charts you prefer, just maximize that chart, because what we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to optimize your platform. Before I do, I would like to show you how to take off some of the tools that I've currently been working with. So for this, we can get up, we can just right click on the chart, click on objects list, take off the fib level that we were looking at just a moment ago. We can take away the trend line and the horizontal line as well. So we can leave the rest because we're quite happy with the information we have up on screen. And just the final sort of piece of information really before we optimize your platform is if you go up to view, what you are able to do is sorry, let me retrace. This is one-click trading, and again I'll come on to that very, very shortly. But if you want to remove that from the chart, you actually right-click on the trading chart itself, and it will remove one-click trading. Now, when you first use one-click trading, so this allows you to just get into the market as long as you set your appropriate risk. You can get into this to any trade with this one-click trading tab, and it will instinctively get you into that trade very quickly. So if you wanted to remove it, just right-click on the chart, scroll down to one-click trading, and you can remove that accordingly. Okay, so we're looking at a screen, and what we might often find is the screen could be black, it might have grids on it, it could be green, or there's a whole variety of different colors. And if you wanted to make it a nice white, bright background, and you wanted to signify candlesticks to be a particular color, whether they're to the downside like this in red, or whether they're to the upside in green, there's a way in which you can do that, and it's just optimizing your platform. So to show you how to go about doing this, just right click on anywhere on the chart, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see properties, and this will bring up a list of properties there for you. And what you can do is you can set the background to whatever color you wish, and you can get a little preview as well of that background. Now, it just so happens that we prefer to have our background quite white, and to just be able to take away perhaps a lot of the grid lines and a lot of the potential clutter and just see pure price action. That's one way to look at these charts, and it's very much a personal decision in terms of how you like to set up your chart and what you like to look at. So to just give you a template to work with, if you like the look of our template as things currently stand, what you can do is go through each of these properties and you can change them accordingly. Now, when we go down to the green and the black, sorry, the green and the red just at the bottom there, you can go through and change those colors and select whatever color green you like. Nice strong green. The red is the 5th level down, just sitting in there. It's a nice strong red color. The white is the bottom right hand corner, and the black market is, as you can see, top left. So all of these colors are in there. You can utilize those if you wish as the starting point. And what you'll need to be mindful of is, and what's quite useful for you is that if you get into a market, you can actually set the stop level in red. So you get a visual cue in terms of where your stop loss is placed. And the volume tab just tells you when you get into that trade. So you can see you've got the green line to let you know that we're currently selling this market as things currently stand, and we do have a stop loss just placed at this red line. So you get a nice visual cue. That's a really useful thing to know when you're trading these markets. So when you click from chart to chart, you can see very clearly which market you happen to be in, and where your entry levels and where your stop loss is as well. Now there's other properties within this level that you can have a look at. Make sure you're on candlesticks, and you can leave effectively the rest as default. So you're very welcome to make any changes you wish to this chart and go ahead and click OK. So really, when you're first introduced to the MetaTrader 4 platform, you can optimize the charts in any which way you like. But once you've been through the properties and you've changed them to what you like, you then need to actually save what you've done as a template. And that means you will not necessarily have to go through that again. So to do this, we right click on the chart, scroll down to template. And what we're looking to do is to save the template that we've actually just created. So what that will do is bring up this charting box. And what we can do in here is just put JAFX, and you can save that file name. And if it already exists, you can go ahead and click yes. So basically, you will not have to go through that process again. And what you'll see often at the bottom of your chart, and if I just, you obviously won't have as many as we currently have up on screen. And let's say we wanted to add a particular market. We'll go through Market Watch very shortly, and I'll just explain this in more detail. But when you open up a new window, any particular chart that you would like to have a look at, instead, as you can see, it has a default process. So what you can do, if that's the case and you want to continue to monitor this price on this chart, you can go ahead and right click on the chart, and instead of going through the properties again, you can just literally click on JAFX. And the only thing to remember when you do that, it does all the work for you. This is the CAD yen. Just click to a daily time frame if that's the time frame that you are looking to trade, because the default time frame is 1 hour. So just bear that in mind, and the rest of the settings are all done for you. So it doesn't matter which market you decide to trade, you just right click on the chart, scroll down to template, and just click on the JFX, which you have just previously saved. So that's a really good way to optimize and just go through each individual market that you happen to want to access, and you'll be able to build a catalog of different markets. And one of the reasons why MetaTrader 4 is really good is that it's very intuitive. It saves comprehensively all of the information that you use on a regular basis. So if you put in, we're going to put in some technical tools just one more time to just show you how to go about doing that. And then if you log out of your MetaTrader 4 platform and log back in, it saves all of that information for you. So as you can see, this is a nice clean chart. We can absolutely again utilize some of the tools that you have available, the technical tools that you have available to identify perhaps levels on the chart. We can put in diagonal lines as well if we're trying to monitor, do our technical analysis, and we might just do a Fibonacci retracement just to plug that into the gap. If there's any of these events or any of these tools that you're using that you want to get rid of, like I've discussed before, right click on the chart, get up your objects list, and it's very, very easy and straightforward. Just highlight whichever technical tool you want to delete, and you can get rid of that accordingly, and you can see them vanish there currently up on screen. So that is ultimately the optimization process. Now, there is a vast number of different types of indicators which you can plug into each chart. So if I wanted to add an average true range, we just click on File, scroll down to Trading Indicators, and just click on Average True Range. And then within this pop-up box, you can set the levels. You can look at whatever period you like. You can decide which color you want it to the indicator to be represented within, and go ahead and press OK. And you get that information with the ATR just at the bottom of your trading chart. Very intuitive. You can scroll up and down, and you can utilize this information. Now, there's a whole host of different indicators. If we want trend-related indicators, and perhaps we wanted to put in a moving average this time, you can select what type of moving average you like over what period, and you can put all this information in. You can even determine what color you want, the size of the line that you want it to indicate. And as you can see, it's very, very intuitive. It gives you the information very, very quickly. And you can plug these things onto your charts. And it's just a case of getting very familiar with the indicators. There's a whole range of oscillators built in there as well. And traders prefer to use different indicators for different reasons. So if you wanted a MACD, you can go ahead and place a MACD as well onto the charts. So as you can see, there's a large number of different indicators. They're very, very seamless and very, very easy to put up onto your chart, and just as easy to take them off. Just right click on the chart itself, get up your objects list, and no, excuse me, that's the objects. What you need to do when you put indicators on is get up the indicators list, and you can go ahead and highlight and delete those accordingly, and you'll see them instantly be removed from your charting package. So that's how you put on and off. That's how you optimize your platform, take on and off your perhaps indicators or technical tools that you happen to be using. And we've just been through how to save and optimize your platform through the template. So once you've done it for the first time, you don't need to continue to do it once more. And we've just gone through a bit of a process in terms of how to add and also take away some technical tools there that you can look to work with. Okay, so just focusing a little bit more on the market watch, which is just to the right of your trading chart. The first thing to do is to highlight any of the markets within the market watch. And if you right click on any one of those markets and show all, then it will give you the full range of markets to look at. And once you've done that, you can scroll through your market watch, and you can see the vast array of markets which are available. Now we have different types of currency pairs. We've got our major currency pairs, we've got our minors, and we've also got some exotic pairs in there as well. So a vast range of foreign exchange markets. You also have a number of global indices as well that you can look to trade, the dollar index, and also a vast number of equities, CFD equities that you can trade as well. In addition to that, we also have a number of commodities, your oil markets, your gold and silver markets. They're all in here as well. And as you scroll further down, we have more equities from different jurisdictions. And then you've got a whole host of cryptocurrencies to choose from as well. Bitcoin and you name it, they are all built in. So there's lots and lots of options for you to trade a whole variety of different markets. So the accessibility, again, through the brokerage and also through MetaTrader 4 is pretty significant. So very, very easy to use. Now, if you wanted to see what symbols are available, perhaps you want to take a number of these away, you can do so very, very easily. So if you go up to view and just scroll down to symbols, you'll get the symbols box, and all of the symbols that you can trade are all listed in here under different categories. So let's say we wanted to take away a number of these markets. We can do so by just highlighting it and hiding it. And as a result, you will see these particular markets be removed from your list. Now, let's say the opposite is also true. We wanted to add those same markets. We can do so very easily. Go up to View, scroll down to Symbols, and click on whichever subsection you're interested in adding. Highlight the market and show it, and it will do so. So I'm adding the Euro, Czech Corona. We have the Danish Krona, the Hong Kong dollar, Mexican peso, and the Norwegian krona as well. So let's show all of these four, and I'll show you where to find those markets. So we've just added those 5 once more. And if you scroll right the way down to the bottom, you'll see all of those markets sitting there for you. So you can add them and take them away accordingly if you don't want such a big, long list to work with. So another very, very important tool that we would certainly recommend you to use, it's entirely up to you if you wish to do so, would be the data window. Now, it's definitely worth knowing. What I will do is put up the data window, and it can appear at different places in the chart. Let me show you. It could be here, for example. You might want to just get it out of the way. It's kind of a drag and drop situation. So you can have it in the bottom left-hand corner very, very easily. And if you hover over any particular candlestick, it will give you the information on that candlestick. So whether it's a daily time frame, whether it's a 1-minute chart, you will get the time and obviously the date, but you'll also get very useful information like the open price of that candlestick, the high, the low, and also the price at which that candlestick closes. So that's very, very useful for those that look to trade with technically with the use and understanding of Japanese candlesticks. So it can give you some really useful information. And just finally, with regards to the View tab, in fact, there's 2 more things to discuss with you. The first one is the navigator box. So if you click on that, that can, of course, currently pop up on screen. And what you can do with this box is you can go through the different accounts, perhaps that you have saved, and this is where you're able to access them, all of the information there. What I'll do is I'll just bring this up just a little bit, and so you can see that in a little bit more detail. Now, the navigator toolbox is not necessarily needed from day to day, but if you needed to get it up, have a look at your accounts and your account numbers and things like that, and then it's a very, very easy way of doing so. So it's a bit of a shortcut. However, that is largely the formatting. Now, there is one more thing that I'd like to draw your attention to, which is your terminal. So this is where all of the trades that you're in are logged. The balance is what you'll see, the equity that you have tied up, the margin, the free margin that's available, and the margin level as well. And you'll see it in the terminal box. And to make sure it is at the bottom of your screen, just go up to View, scroll down to Terminal, and you will see the terminal appear at the bottom of the screen. And it has all the information you need. Just click on the Trade tab. And as you can see, there's different tabs. So do familiarize yourself with these tabs. But effectively, this is very closely to the kind of setup that, especially when you're starting out, that you can work with very, very easily. But like I said, it's a personal decision. It depends what type of, how you prefer to optimize your chart. So there's huge flexibility in being able to optimize your trading platform the way that you would like to see it. Okay, so just before we finish then, we just want to go through in terms of, there's a few different ways in which you can take a trade. So the first way is one-click trading. So we can see this if we right-click on the chart and scroll down to one-click trading. It might ask you, do you understand what one-click trading is? And that just means We can buy or sell, but just make sure the risk is the appropriate size that you're looking to trade. So if you're new trading, you can keep that very, very low. But do be aware of the amount of capital that you expose in a particular trade. And let's say I wanted to go ahead and sell the Canadian yen, and I've got one-click trading up on screen. I can see the prices. So I want to sell at 84.46, and I've done my analysis, and that's the level I would like to get into. I can just one-click and take that trade. And what you will see at the bottom here is in your trading terminal, you'll see any trade that's activated, you will see it in your trading platform. Another useful tip is if you hover over the entry level, which is the volume property that we've selected earlier, the green dotted line, you have the ability to hover over it, and it says that you can drag it to modify, and that's just a very quick way of placing a stop loss on the screen. So it's just very intuitive, very, very easy to use. And you can do the same in terms of take profit. If you drag it to the downside, because we're looking to sell, let's say I want to take profit at this level in here, then I can drag the level down. So we have our sell order at 0.01 at this current price. We can drag and drop our stop loss to a technical level, and then we can also do the same with our take profit. So it's just a very quick, intuitive way of taking that trade. Now, if we want to get out of that trade, it's very, very easy. You can actually click the X next to that trade if you like. So I'll go ahead and do that, and just book in a couple of cent profit on that trade in a few seconds. So that's one way to execute trades in the market. The other way, which certainly we'd ask you to get more familiar with when you're, especially if you're new and you're starting out, is to click the new order tab up on screen, and it gives you the opportunity to put in the volume. So 0.01 lot is the smallest volume you can trade. So perhaps consider safety first when you're starting out, and you can increase that risk when you are a little bit more knowledgeable and able to do so. Now, it gives you opportunities to put in the technical prices for those markets. So let's say we look to sell at the 84.46 level, and let's place a 50 pip stop loss, for example. So 84.96 now. So we'll have a 50 pip stop loss, and we'll also put in a 50 pip take profit. So 50 pips to the upside, 50 pips to the downside, and it's to the second decimal place when we're trading the yen pairs. We go ahead and sell that market, and as you can see, we'll see that that market listed here at the bottom of your screen. Now let's say, again, I'm going to take this away now. So let's say, for example, we wanted to place a pending order. So we didn't necessarily want to get in the market price, which is the price that we have available right now. Maybe we wanted to get in beneath the low. So let's take this away for now. And you can see that gone from your screen. And let's place one more trade. And what you can do is you can select a pending order. So there's different types of pending orders for different reasons. We do have a course on demand for pending orders, so you can see the different types of orders that you can trade. But let's say we want to sell the market below the current price. So if we take note of the daily low, for example, just in the data window there on the left-hand side, we can see that the low of that market is the 84.35. So let's say, for example, we want to enter this market just below that, 2 pips below it, 84.33. We can put that level precisely into this particular box, 33. So it's a couple of pips just below the daily low. And let's say we work with that 50 pip stop loss once more, just for argument's sake. And we can put the stop loss just into the stop loss tab. And we'll also take that 50 pip take profit as well if the market moves in our favor. 83.83. And just always double check your trade, make sure it's correct, make sure you're happy with it, and go ahead and click. Let me see. Did I put in all the correct information? No. I tell you what, the problem I made was I didn't select the correct market and pending order. So there is fail safes in place that will tell you that there's actually something that you've put in incorrectly. So what we want to do is make sure we use a sell stop order, which means we want to sell below the current price. So now when we double check this, we want to get in at 84.33. The stop loss is 50 pips above at 84.83. And our take profit is 83.83. And the volume that we're happy to trade with is 0.01. So now when we go ahead and place this, we shouldn't have any problems. So go ahead and click the place button. And all of those levels just appear up on screen, so you can see exactly what orders you have sitting in this market. And if you scroll down in the terminal box, you will see that you have a sell stop order sitting in this market at a price of 84.33 with a stop loss of 84.83 and a take profit of 83.83. I appreciate the numbers are quite specific. So again, that pending order is sitting in this market. Let's say again you'd like to get rid of that pending order. It's very, very easy to do. Click the X in your terminal, and it's a very quick and easy way to do that. So that is the terminal, how to use it, and how to go about the various different ways in which to take a trade. So that just about concludes then this overview of your MetaTrader 4 platform, and just showing you the basics to get it set up, to get it fully operational in a way in which you're happy with it, and just showing you a little bit about what this platform can actually do. The reason why it's one of the most commonly used platforms is because it is so intuitive, very, very easy to use, very, very straightforward, and people really enjoy working with this platform. So we're sure that you will get a lot of benefit and joy out of being able to trade the markets with a MetaTrader 4 platform. Okay, so that just about concludes then this particular webinar. So we have looked at the MetaTrader 4 login process and making sure that you've got the correct connection. We've conducted a bit of just a general overview of the platform. I've shown you how to optimize your charts, how to add technical tools, whether that is individual tools like lines and trend lines as well, or whether it's Fibonacci retracements, or whether it's actually indicators as well. We've had a look at Market Watch. We've showed you how to add and perhaps remove various different markets using the symbols tab. We've had a look at the data window as well, so you can see very, very important price information about each candlestick. We've shown you how to take a trade and how to use your trade terminal. So we do hope you'll find this video useful. So all that's left for me to do now is to thank you very much for joining us. Do take care, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.